sit on down and pour yourself a glass.
And tune into your favorite podcast,
where things will be misquoted
and opinions ain't sugar-coated.
'Cause DJ and Kelly are locked and probably loaded.
Hey guys, welcome to Locked and Probably Loaded with DJ and Kelly. I'm your host, DJ Qualls, and I'm here with my good friend and co-host, Kelly Blackheart. Hey, Kelly.
Hello.
She's laughing because I had an aborted attempt. So not all abortions are bad for Republicans. Some of them are good and necessary. So I said, hey guys, welcome to Locked and Probably Loaded with DJ Qualls. I'm DJ Qualls, and I talked myself into a corner, as I often do.
Yeah, you're a professional. You wanted to get it right.
I really wanted to get it right and couldn't even get it right that time. Sometimes when I do cameos, it'll be like take 47 and I'll be like, happy birthday, Jennifer.
there was one time.
I fucking hate you.
There's been a lot of times that I've messed up DJ's cameos, whether it's I'm coming to pick him up and I'm texting him I'm here, but I didn't know that if you got a text that it would like fuck up the video or whatever. So like it wasn't my fault that time. But there was one time I was at his house and he was finishing one right before we were about to leave. And I was just looking at my phone and I just looked in his direction at one point and he goes, "You can't look at me."
I fucked it up.
And then it was like 4 minutes in.
It's a really
I
private
completely
thing
threw him
doing
off.
cameos for me.
Do you have to do it in the app or can you record it?
You do it. Yeah, you do it in the app because sometimes it's the app is glitchy as fuck. Get it together.
Yeah, it's like
Cameo.
not syncing your words
sometimes
and
it
mouth
won't sync my mouth and words. Like
so it's
looks
built
like I'm
off the Patreon platform.
Yeah, it looks like I'm a spaghetti western. But it's a very private thing. It's like somebody walking in on you masturbating.
Oh.
But I was there the whole time. You
I
started
know.
masturbating while I was on the couch.
Yeah, but
I
you
just
were
made eye
turning the other
contact with you.
That's how I masturbate. As long as you're not making eye contact with me.
You do have object permanence issues, and so maybe it was you didn't even realize I was there until you saw my face. You're like, when did you get here?
You can't hand me a parking ticket and expect me to have it when we leave the garage. Anyway, hi guys.
Howdy.
Welcome to Locked and Probably Loaded. I'm your host, DJ Qualls, and I'm here with my good friend, Kelly Blackheart. Hey, Kelly.
Hello.
How have you been, man?
Good. How about you?
I've been great.
Are you excited for your trip this weekend?
I really am. So, guys, I've talked about this. I'm doing the Locked and Probably Loaded.
Locked and Probably Loaded tour. Kelly and Isaac know nothing about it.
That'd be awesome.
No, I'm doing the Mother's Ruin Challenge. Fuck, I was going to bring that hat and wear
You
it
just
on
said
this episode. Challenge.
Yeah.
See, that's also a problem. When I make fun of an accent, I wind up doing it subconsciously.
Yeah, that's karma, baby.
Yeah, my last year on Man in the High Castle, because I mimic Canadian accent so much, I got flagged 13 times for Canadian accent and had to go re-record the dialogue. I know. It's karma.
Yeah.
So I'm flying to Austin the day after tomorrow to hang out with some friends. Jordan number 7 and his wife Tiffany are coming up to join me and have some drinks. They live in San Antonio.
Awesome.
And then I also get to see my friend who runs a gambling parlor. Remember that guy Brian that they talked to on the live the other day?
Yeah.
Yeah, from Texas.
Oh, okay.
So I get to see him, and we're gonna hang out and just do Austin stuff. And then on Sunday we fly from Austin to Chicago. We have 4 hours in Chicago from the time we land to get back on the plane and we have to go to the bar, get our Mother's Ruin passport stamped, get a drink, head back to the airport, get on another flight, and then go to Nashville and go into the bar with our luggage, get our passport stamped, have some drinks, and then the next day I go get a tattoo and go back with my stamped passport and my new Mother's Ruin logo tattoo, and I get a gold card for a free cocktail every day for life. And there's not even one in Los Angeles.
No, I know.
I just want it.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where you're doing
challenge.
it to do the challenge because it's a fun challenge, but it's not because it's practical in any way whatsoever for saving.
Here's the thing.
I think somebody asked recently, why would you even do that? I'm like, because to say you did it.
You're going to 3 cities in the same day. It's planes, trains, and automobiles where you're loaded the whole day, right?
Also, you don't need one free drink a day. You're not going to a bar because you're not getting a free drink.
And also, if there was a Mother's Ruin in Los Angeles and it was 1 mile in the wrong direction from my house, I would never go there.
If the lights were up a little too high.
The bartender has a weird left ear. Let's never come here again. That's actually not true. We're pretty tolerant with bars.
Yeah. We do say this bar sucks about everything, even if it's not a bar, though.
Yeah, well, only when it's not a bar. Like I say this bar sucks all the time. Like I'll be in a conference room. And I'm like, this bar sucks.
But we do say it about bars, too.
Well, some bars do suck.
Yeah.
What order are you going in?
I'm flying to Austin to hang out. Then I'm flying to Chicago. Then I'm going to Nashville. We had to New York City.
Fight the time zones.
Yeah, New York.
Yeah.
We didn't want to fight the time zones in New York City. I mean, no, that would have helped us, wouldn't it?
No.
We didn't want the traffic problem. Is what we didn't want because it's hard to get to the airport in New York.
If you started in New York, you'd gain an hour by going west.
There was a reason why we didn't do that. Oh, I think Austin was a necessity because I think
one
it just
has to be
opened.
Austin.
Yeah. So if last year I think it was Chicago and Chicago, New York, Nashville makes more sense.
Yeah.
Because there's obviously more flights out of New York and into New York, but just that if we only had 4 hours on the ground in New York City.
Yeah.
It's like an hour and a half to get into the city sometimes.
Yeah.
We'd be fucked.
I wonder
And
if
JFK is
there's
a
any
nightmare.
information about how many people do the challenge every year.
I don't know. I hope it's not a lot. I'm sure a lot of people do it.
In this economy, I don't think that many people are able to do that.
I mean, the tickets actually were not expensive. I think the whole day, for airfare, I think that the 3 flights combined cost me $650.
Yeah, but it's out of.
But I bought them well in advance.
Yeah, and that's for most, at least regular people.
I'm a regular person.
That's probably pretty
Well, for a
difficult
once
to
in a
do.
lifetime experience,
Yeah,
$650
I
bucks
wonder-
is not a ton of money, and we're staying at an Airbnb.
There should be a club where anybody who has a gold card can register, and then they get deported by ICE.
There should be a club where $5 million you get a gold card.
Yeah, there's got to be a way that you could just buy one,
What?
buy a gold card.
Yeah, Mother's Ruin
Cheap,
Challenge.
yeah.
Gold. I would never want that.
I know,
I want to
but-
do it.
But
Do you have
some
to get the
people like that.
tattoo on the same day that you go to all the bars?
No, you get a black card that's good for a beer.
But he doesn't drink beer.
I don't drink beer, and then you have to go back when you have your tattoo. Some people get it ahead of time. We're not planners. We actually try to get one in Austin, but the guy that we would use has an appointment during that time, so we can't do it. But it's exciting. It's just a fun thing to do. Ty. The only sad thing is that Ty was going to do it with me.
Oh, he's not going anymore?
No, he doesn't. He can't. He doesn't feel comfortable coming into the country
yeah.
because
You especially don't want to be on 3 different flights.
no.
Like,
could you imagine
just-
that being stopped? Like,
Yeah.
okay, why are you flying to 3 different places in the same day,
And
Canadian?
then all of a sudden he's being deported, and you're like, but I have to get to Nashville.
yeah, and he's also yeah.
I'm sorry, babe. I love you.
I have to leave you,
but
but you're dead weight.
I need the gold card.
We actually just talked about that. Josh and Tiffany here are going on this thing with me. Don't have TSA pre-check, and I'm like, I will leave you. You're not going to fuck up my. But they signed up for Clear, which is expensive.
But it's free for the first 30 days and you can cancel it.
Yeah, I think that's what they're doing. They're doing a trial.
Do you know your itinerary? Like how much time you have everywhere? Like what time are you leaving Austin? It's so fascinating to fly to 3 cities in one day.
I mean,
Well, they've got 4 hours in Chicago
Yeah.
from landing to
Yeah.
getting back to the airport.
yeah. So
or
we're
getting
flying
back on a
into
plane.
Austin the day before, or 2 days before, which is a bad idea because that means Sunday we're not going to feel well when we're doing this.
Nope.
So I'm going to petition to everybody to go hard on Friday night
Yeah.
and then have a day of rest and relaxation
Yeah.
on Saturday. And then Sunday we'll go balls to the wall. And then Monday we will go get tattoos and probably bleed a lot because our blood will be thin from all the alcohol that we've
I've pretty much
ingested.
been drinking before all of my tattoos.
Yeah, I did too. And it's never bothered me. We got matching tattoos, well, not matching tattoos, but we all got tattoos on Mother's Day. Ty's kids. No, it was Father's Day. I don't know why I said, because we're talking about Mother's Ruin. Father's Day. And Ty went first, and we drank the night before, and he bled a lot. I was drinking at the bar when they came and got me. I think I was like 4 shots in, and nothing happened. That's probably not good.
You're just built
It's fine.
different.
Yeah.
I remember either in the Patreon chat or one of the comments on one of the videos, somebody had asked how many tattoos we each have. Because you've got hidden ones.
1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 4.
Oh, I didn't know you had any.
Yeah, you have like 17,
Yeah, see,
right?
I was surprised the first time I found out.
That's because I'm an Evernude.
Well, yeah, he wears long sleeves
Yeah,
all the time.
yeah.
Because also I don't want my tattoos to fade. I think about that. Look how gorgeous this tattoo is.
It is really awesome. I love that tattoo.
It's the Rene Magritte painting, The Soul of Man.
I have, I
Look how
think.
pretty that is.
I
The
lost
line-
count.
The line work is
I've never seen that
insane.
before. That's crazy.
Yeah, he's got.
How long does that take the
then
makeup
he's-
to cover up?
No, nobody hires me as an actor anymore since I started this podcast. I've sort of fucking destroyed my career.
You also wear long sleeves in a lot of your roles too.
Yeah. Here's the thing. So my first tattoo I got, my second, but an arm tattoo was this little bee that Pony Lawson gave me, and I had to get permission from Amazon. Because you're not allowed to change your body, and I was in my first season of Man in the High Castle, so we called them, and my character. I like
that you're not allowed to change your body, but we are. Get those veneers,
yes.
bitch.
Yeah, now.
But they told me my character wore rolled up his sleeves at work a lot, so they told me to roll up my sleeves, and it had to be an inch above that.
It's crazy that even like a tattoo peeking out would be something that they'd even care about.
Well, I mean, the thing is, obviously they're coverable, but they're just. Carrie Russell wrecked it for everybody. There was a show called Felicity that was on in the late 90s, early 2000s. Mm-hmm. She cut her hair and the viewership died. So now, this is real.
Yeah.
And now any appearance change that you have, like, a significant weight loss or a haircut, when you're under contract, when you're on a show, you're not allowed to get your hair cut in the off season.
Yeah.
Everything,
nuts.
Every appearance change has to be okayed by the people who are running. Yeah. It killed the show. It's not her fault. She's a person who has bodily autonomy and gets to do what she wants. But yeah, she cut her hair in the second season.
Wow, yeah. It was the second. It was that early?
Yeah.
I almost thought that it happened after
the aftermath.
The show ended.
The Felicity haircut became a cautionary tale, with any major hair change on television being referred to as pulling a Felicity.
It's like jumping a shark. It's also a hassle for production for tattoos because you have to get clearance from the artist.
Yeah, that is true.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Everything's copywritten. I guess
I can't be an actress.
Like when they filmed that show in my house where I talked to my grandfather, my dead grandfather, Tyler Henry, they had to blur out all the art because everything is technically copywritten because it was produced after 1925.
Well, they would have to CGI my arms like they did with Jeremy Renner in Tag.
No, they can. That's the thing. They can cover it pretty easily. Tattoos are
no,
not
I know.
hard to
There's
cover.
tattoo makeup, but I have I think 35 or 36 tattoos.
I mean, have you seen how many tattoos Ty has? He has them on his hands.
Yeah.
I mean, they just cover them up.
Yeah, there's makeup for that.
Yeah.
But did you know that they CGI'd Jeremy Renner's arms in the movie Tag?
Mm-mm.
Apparently, he had broken both of his arms like right before filming, and he
was in. I hate broken bones.
2 full casts.
He broke 35 bones. He's doing the podcast circuit right now. He got run over by a snowcat.
I know.
Jesus
he broke his whole body.
Yikes. Well, they didn't want his casted arms in the movie, so they CGI'd him. And I've seen Tag.
Are they doing this?
I don't know. I've seen Tag, but I like kind of want to watch it again, see if I can notice how weird they look.
God, I hate broken bones.
Yeah, I tend not to break mine.
It's disgusting. My friend shut my finger in a door on a road trip to Memphis once, and it made me want to cut my fucking fingers off.
Yeah, that's why my middle fingers are so...
Oh, I don't want to see it.
So
I can't deal with anything medical.
I've broken my fingers a bunch of times.
I don't want to hear it. I don't like anything medical. I really don't. I think it's because I had cancer. Do you feel bad now?
No.
You should.
Did you break your bone having cancer?
No, but look at my body.
It's fragile.
I almost made a cancer joke at the head of the episode, but people get really upset about that. But I should be able to make jokes about it.
Yeah, of course.
It happened to me.
That's your story.
Yeah, it is.
You're allowed to make... I make so many fucking dark jokes about shit that's happened to me, and it makes everybody uncomfortable, but I'm like, but I'm laughing. You're allowed to laugh. You're not allowed to say it.
The other day, I was getting my hair cut, and she didn't cut my bangs short enough, and I put on my baseball cap and said this: "You have to be shorter, because if they're this length, it gives me Hitler hair." And she went like this.
Well, it's not.
No one.
What's funny about that is it's not like you said, "Oh, I'm not getting the Hitler hair look that I wanted." It's not like you were requesting it. You were implying that Hitler hair is a bad thing, and she's like, "I'm so uncomfortable."
Show me your price list. What does it say Hitler hair on here? That's what I want.
Where's the stash?
No, but it was like. But I'm pretty deadpan when I say a lot of shit. That's why when you lost your phone, you're like, "Are you fucking with me?" To the point where I'm like, "I will fucking murder you if you don't leave the house right now."
I really thought you were fucking with me.
But I get it. I'm pretty deadpan. I just don't like it when it blows back up in my face when I'm actually very serious. Like I'm like, currently I'm on the side of the road stranded. And my arm's hanging off of me. Can you come get me? No.
But also, that's the thing. In the beginning of our friendship, I took everything you said at face value. And so often it was something that was like ridiculous sounding. But I'm like, I don't know. I have no reason not to believe him. And then you'd be like, no, you idiot. And so because the story seemed so like, not that it was like out of.
Was it that I said you should yell out?
Yes,
Kelly,
I think that's where it was. And then
telefono?
you kept texting me in Spanish too, and I was like,
I thought the guy.
I was like, I don't have time to translate this right now.
Yeah, because I thought the fucking guy could see the phone. It was a whole thing.
I know.
Anyway,
listen to last week,
and I don't like it. It's like, so I do this, and this is how I groom people like this. So, and actually, I'm the architect of my own demise, because when I first meet you and we hang out a couple times, you'll text me, and then I'll text back, "Who is this?"
Yes. Yeah.
And then after I've done it a couple times, and I'll do this. Hey, John, I've been in a text conversation with you for 25 minutes. Why would I suddenly say, "Who is this?" Don't fall for my bullshit. And then when they don't fall for it anymore, I do this. Hey, I'm so sorry. I know you're not going to believe this, but my phone just wiped itself. Who is this? And they'll do this. It's John. I'm like, don't fall for that.
Yeah. So you understand my trepidation over the scenario.
One of the things I love doing is somebody would text me, and then I would respond, T-Mobile error code E-4217. User is out of area. Please try again. And I would send the text over and over and over again.
I've done that. I did one where when I would get unsolicited dick pics, I would do something like, this image is automatically being reported, blah, 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 whatever. And I would say reply stop to cancel or whatever. And these guys would just be saying, stop. It was an accident. Stop.
Remember that guy that sent you that photo of his dick in his sink?
Yeah.
And his
and we
sink
looked
was
at it on
filthy?
Here. Yep. Let's go to take a break so we can look at it.
We'll be
real
right
quick.
back after these messages. Yeah, what an odd thing to do. And it really shows the lack of self-awareness, because it's not just that you're sending a dick pic. Your sink is filthy.
Well, but I think that that's the difference between.
Although I do absentmindedly touch my dick on this show, which has been called to my attention. I'm a man.
People love it. People love you scratch.
I think you're gonna have to just cowboy me. You're gonna get me from the tits up.
Well, what was so crazy about that clip is, like, I know you keep referencing that you're like, I was scratching my balls, but you weren't, and people were like, "I can't believe he's scratching his balls." You were scratching where your belt line is.
But I also do absentmindedly touch my penis, and most men do it. It's a thing. Once a little boy finds his penis, he never unfinds it until he dies.
Well, there was that song "Detachable Penis."
I didn't know that song.
Oh, there's a really, really, really bad
viral
movie.
internet
Detachable
sensation.
penis.
Was it a viral thing?
I don't know. I thought it was really popular.
Detachable penis?
Yeah. We got to listen to it.
I've never heard of that song.
I cannot. But you might. It's like, it's kind of a spoken word throughout the thing. He's like narrating his entire day.
I was also living in the UK in the 90s. And so
I think
I may not have gotten it, because like we didn't get Seinfeld. Seinfeld wasn't a thing there.
So I missed Seinfeld.
I missed
you probably
all
didn't
of
get
that.
Detachable penis.
Yeah, I think that's how it goes. Seinfeld, detachable penis.
Yeah.
They weren't great exports around the world.
There were tariffs on detachable
Yeah, there
penis.
was probably a trade embargo on it.
We should probably just watch the music video.
I've never heard this before. I can already tell you.
I woke up this morning
Nope, never
with
heard
a
it.
bad hangover. And my
Well, we gotta wait. You gotta get him to the chorus.
We're gonna get kicked off.
But we
YouTube.
can't use it.
Well,
Yeah. Can we play it in the Patreon?
sure. He's got to hear the song.
I've never heard detachable penis. I will say that.
But there's a movie. You know how I said I used to like to watch like the worst movies ever and make up drinking games for them.
Yeah, like that Vagina with Teeth movie.
I don't think I've seen that one.
You haven't seen the one with the girl?
Is that a home video?
She has teeth in her vagina. It's a movie. It's a mainstream movie that was released in Hollywood.
No, I have not seen that.
I think it's called Vagina Tooth or Tooth.
Oh yeah, it is starting to ring a bell now. Yeah. No, there was a movie called Bad Johnson, and it was, I think Nick Thune was the main character in it, but this guy loses his penis and he spends the whole day going around looking for it, and it's really bad. It's like
Who's
so
Nick
bad it's
Thune?
good.
Is that Rick?
He's a comic, or
I don't know.
he's like. Is he a comic, Isaac? I don't know if he ever did. I think he did stand up.
Yeah, he's a musical comic.
Oh, okay.
He opens for Nate Bargatze.
Oh,
Okay.
does he like sing?
Yeah, that's.
He plays and talks. He doesn't
like-
sing
I don't
songs.
like that.
There are very,
Very close to a
few.
musical.
One of the newest past members of the Comedy Store.
Oh, nice.
I don't like that.
What he means by passed at the Comedy Store, it does not mean he died at the Comedy Store.
Oh, sorry.
Because for a second it took me a second to. It just means that you're basically approved to become a paid comic there.
Yes.
Okay, that's what it means to be passed at the Comedy Store.
Anyway,
I think the movie you're talking about is Teeth.
Yeah, it's a girl has teeth in her vagina.
Its title refers to the ancient trope of vagina dentata.
We are Googling that.
I've never heard of vagina dentata before.
Hey, Darlene, why won't you have sex with me? I got vagina dentata.
It made $2.3 million.
It probably cost 10.
No, she probably came with those teeth in there.
No, they were dentures. There are those Snap-on things that you can buy on Facebook.
Vagina dentata, which translates to toothed vagina in Latin, is a folktale tradition and a related medical condition. The folktale depicts a vagina containing teeth, often implying danger or castration during sexual intercourse. The medical condition refers to a rare vaginal dermoid cyst, which may contain teeth. What do you mean, which may contain teeth?
Have you heard about these cysts that people are taking out of their bodies that have like teeth and hair and stuff? They're like,
yeah. They have just teeth and hair cells in them. They're not like babies or anything.
But they're making it out to be like, I got this removed and it was growing teeth and hair.
Yeah, there's teeth and hair cells in them, I think.
No, I have not heard about that.
Yeah.
I was busy watching other documentaries. I started this new docuseries about sorority, like Greek life, frats and sororities. And like, it really needs to be studied how sadistic people in fraternities are.
It's fucking
awful.
awful.
I mean, I know sororities definitely have hazing and stuff like that, but fraternities really just take it to the next level.
Yeah,
and like
you
rape
drink yourself
culture
to
is
death,
crazy.
and then I beat you in the face with something.
So when I played volleyball in college, like I think the team had prior done hazing in years prior, but the year that I came, I was one of 3 freshmen, and the other 2 freshmen, one was a Mormon girl from Salt Lake City and the other was a girl that came from China that didn't speak like any English. And I think the team was like, we can't haze a Mormon and a girl who just got here and like doesn't know what the fuck is going on.
It sounds like the setup to a bad joke.
Yeah. So I didn't experience any hazing, but a sports team, I can understand why people go through with it, like go through the abuse and all that stuff, because you are on the team and like you'll be shunned by. But like if I'm rushing a sorority and they're being abusive as fuck to me, I'm like, okay, well, then I'm not going to pay to be your friend anymore. Well, I think I would just leave.
Exploiting that you're alone somewhere. When you go somewhere as a freshman, you don't know anybody.
Yeah, they also shun you, so like you can't go to the social events anymore.
I mean, could you imagine being shunned like by a fucking frat guy that says this? That fucking fag wouldn't let me piss on him. Yeah. So now I'm not his friend.
Yeah.
As an adult, you see the absurdity in that. But at 18 years old, you're like, yeah, I should have let Bradley pee on me because then I would have friends.
I really wish I let Brad pee on me. My life has gone downhill since I didn't let Brad pee on me. I bet that's 100% it is. Like, it's crazy because the first episode was about this one guy who drank himself basically into a coma. Like he's now almost completely brain dead. Has vision loss, all that stuff. And the crazy part is that all of these houses have like surveillance cameras in them. And so you're watching the events of the night unfold, but they took him down into the basement later. But they made him play like Edward 40 Hands, which do you know what that is?
No.
So Edward 40 Hands is where you tape 2 40s of like malt liquor to your hands. And so you can't do anything else until you finish those. But their version of it was when they found out who their pledge dad was, the dad had like a family liquor or whatever. And so they would tape bottles of vodka or whiskey.
They drink 2?
I think it might have been one. I think they were doing a 40 with one hand and a fifth of vodka with the other. And they would be like, you can't be in this frat if you're going to be a pussy and can't finish the drink, blah, blah, blah. And so there's a surveillance video of him falling asleep on the couch. And like he's on his back, but then he like slinks off the couch and he's like in this weird position, and they don't call 911. They like carry him to a car to take him to the hospital. And it's like when your brain loses oxygen, every second counts to get medical intervention.
And also, these are other drunk people around you while you're going through this, so they're probably stunned into.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, he's passed out. Yeah. Look at the funny position he's sleeping in.
Hi, I'm actor DJ Qualls. If you are one of our thousands of listeners who's an 18-year-old boy about to pledge a fraternity, please take this seriously. Yeah. We don't have any of those listeners. No. But if you know any 18-year-old boys.
Yeah. And the rape culture is fucking out of control, too. The second episode was about a girl who got like violently raped by a guy in a frat. And, you know, they're kind of like cops, right? Where it's like we are loyal and we protect one another. And so if somebody comes out with an accusation, they're either going to try to intimidate the witness.
It's all like cult behavior.
Yeah.
It's cult behavior.
And I got asked to pledge a sorority in college, and then Colleen said, I'll fucking kill you if you bring sorority girls over to our house. I was like, all right, I won't do it.
I just started Righteous Gemstones. And I'm like in episode 6. I started it yesterday. I really like it a lot.
Season 1?
Yeah.
Oh, you're in for a treat.
I've never seen it before. I really liked it a lot.
Yeah,
It's a lot of dicks.
I've seen season
A lot
1,
of
but
dicks.
I
Oh,
haven't
just wait.
seen the
There's
rest.
like 10 dicks in every episode.
Yeah, and you also watched A Simple Favor too.
I did. I liked it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was one of those
fun.
movies that you watch and it's like, oh, it's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not groundbreaking, but I hope there's a third one. Blake Lively's great in it. I don't have an opinion about her outside of her work. The whole Justin Baldoni thing.
yeah.
I didn't pay attention to any of
Yeah.
that. So I just don't have opinions about any of that stuff. And so I just liked it. I thought the clothes were great. Capri I've been to and I love Capri. I thought it was great.
It was fun. There was one story choice that was very confusing, but other than that, it was a fun time.
I mean, but I went to Capri a few years ago and loved it. Had a great time. I want to go back. But the problem is you have to leave. I think you can take the ferry from Sorrento, which we probably would do if we went. Naples, I am not easily frightened. Naples scared the hell out of me. It thrives. The whole city seems like it thrives on intimidation.
Yeah.
A man came up when we parked our car and said if we didn't give him 50 euros, the car may not be here when we get back, but he would be waiting for us. And so we were like, here's 50.
He's like, I give you a piggyback ride.
Here's 50 euros. It's just, and so many, and you know, I rarely speak badly about a place to generalize it, but Google it. Everybody has the same similar sort of experience, and it's not some place that I would want to go back to, but I have to because we went to Pompeii and didn't realize that all the stuff at Pompeii is in the museum there, and I really want to see all that stuff.
Also, I would assume that a place like that where you have to take a ferry over to Capri, and most people are coming from Naples, they know that people going there probably have a lot of money,
Yeah, it's
so
expensive
that
as shit.
they can easily get money out of
Yeah.
people, and so that's an easy job.
You sit there
Because
and-
who's really gonna, like, for 50 euros? It's like, I'm not gonna fucking deal with a bunch of trouble.
Yeah,
for
run the
50
risk.
euros. Yeah,
This guy could be connected. You don't know what's
Yeah.
going on. And also, they're so calm about it. They're like, you don't give me the, like,
Yeah.
if you shrug at me while you're demanding something from me, it scares the shit out of me.
yeah. It's okay with me. I
Yeah.
don't mind
That's
killing
exactly
you.
how it was. And so there's a 7-Eleven by my house when I lived in Santa Monica. It was actually in West LA. And I was coming home one night from an event, and I went in, and the cops were there, and they were just leaving, and the clerk had just been robbed like 2 hours before that. And so, and the guy was just there acting normal, and I'm like, why weren't you freaked out? Were you scared? He's like, no, I've been doing this so long that I know that if somebody's nervous when they're doing it, then I should be,
should be calm.
Then I should be calm.
Yeah.
But if somebody's dead calm when they're doing it, I should be fucking
Yeah,
worried.
they've got practice.
Yeah. And so when the guy was so calm, he was like this. He was like, maybe
Maybe you give me 50 euro, maybe I kill you.
Yeah,
I don't care.
yeah.
Tuesday, either way.
It was like that, except he wasn't Russian. But
they all are to me.
maybe I kill you. I was also telling Kelly a story. The last time I was in Rome, a very handsome guy came up to me in Campo de Fiore, which is where I hang out when I'm in Rome at this bar, and he was like, "You're American?" I'm like, "Yes." He's like, "I am from Ohio." And I was so loaded and he was so handsome. I was like, that makes sense to me. And
No further questions, Your Honor.
basically. And so he was like, "Do you want to go to my cousin bar? Do you want to go to my cousin bar? I'm visiting him from Ohio." And I'm like, "Dude, totally." And so I was like, "Hey, Golfo and Abdul, do you want to come with me to his cousin bar?" And they were like, "No, we're not going to go. You shouldn't go either." And then I was like, so drunk, I'm like, "Screw you. I'm a grown up." And it was like, 2 a.m. And all of a sudden I'd start walking away. And then I didn't know it. They were like, "Fuck." So they got the bartender and they were following me down the streets of Rome at 2 o'clock in the morning. And then we passed by a group of dudes on the corner on the left. And I guess he motioned to one of them. And then the guy starts following us. And they're like 20 yards behind us, and they see this happen. So then they run up as we entered an alleyway with a dead end, and this guy was like right behind us, and they were like, and the Italian bartender was like, bit of potato,
Potato.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
He's like, go back to Cleveland.
oh, I know you. You're from Ohio. And so starts berating him, and then the guy who had led me there from Ohio said, sorry, we took a wrong turn. No, they were leading me down there to fucking rob me, obviously.
No, he just didn't know his way around because
He's from Ohio. We'll be right back after these messages. Yeah, and so they will never let me forget that. But then I showed, what's your name? Kelly. I showed Kelly. I blanked for a second. I didn't know where I was.
Dumb whore?
Question mark?
That's how DJ texts me all the time.
Is that why you put that in the group chat?
Yeah.
I was so confused.
Here's why I do that. So
It's funny.
Well, there is a scene in Terminator where he's taking out his eyeball. Arnold Schwarzenegger is, because he's been damaged, and so somebody knocks on his motel room door. He's in a seedy motel. And it says, "Did a cat die in there?" And all of these possible suggestions come up in his like iComputer.
Yeah.
And it's like, excuse me, I'm sorry, come back later. And one of them was, "Fuck you, asshole." And so whenever Kelly texts me, I'm like, "Not now, stupid horror question mark." Is that the right response that's coming up in my iComputer?
Yeah.
And it makes me laugh.
Yeah.
She knows I don't mean it.
Ignorant cunt, dumb whore, stupid slut. But they all have a question mark at the end.
Is this the right response to this? Because I don't mean it.
Well,
I don't
I
mean
am
it.
a dumb whore.
I know. Exclamation point.
He just calls him like he sees him.
I just call him like I see him. I have to say, what's happening right now in the world, I have post-traumatic stress disorder by my own accent. Like,
You don't want anybody getting the wrong idea.
I watch clips of this show and not know where I'm going. You know how you'll click on YouTube.
You're watching your own clips and you're like, uh-oh, I made it onto the wrong FYP.
some guy with a southern accent be like, "Hold on, I just want to let you know, it's not that kind of video. I'm not going to say, go back to India." Sir, I'm from Indiana. Go back to India.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm not doing that. But now, like, I will hear myself, and when a strong southern accent comes out, I'm like, where am I going to say next? It's never bad.
It's the old bait and switch online. They're like, this guy's going to talk about what we want to hear about.
Yeah. That's how we bring him into the fold and then crush him.
Free education, question mark?
Healthcare for everybody.
Question mark?
Yeah, we have to infiltrate that way.
Yeah. Dude, anyway, that's what the times that we're living in right now.
I've also been paying attention to the retrial of this woman named Karen Reed, and I think I briefly told you
told me a
about
bit
her.
about it. There's a
few weeks
documentary
ago.
about her I just saw the other day. I mean, I saw it on my feed.
So basically, there's so many fucking details to this story, but Karen Reed is a woman who is being tried for the murder of her boyfriend, John O'Keefe, who was a
police officer,
Boston
right?
police
Yeah.
officer. And basically, the nutshell of the story is that they were drinking one night and he was hanging out with his cop friends at the bar and all that stuff. And they're all like, okay, we're going to go back over to this house tonight for the afters. And so Karen drives to go over to the house. And they get into the driveway and she's like, why don't you go in there and make sure that like it's still okay if we come over? And so he goes into the house and he's not coming back out and it's taking a long time. So she's texting him like, where are you? She eventually leaves, calls him, leaves the scathing voicemail like, fuck you, blah, blah, blah. Cause she thinks he just like ditched her. Then basically hours later, he's found in the snow and the group of people that lived in the house and that were hanging out in the house, again, I said police officers and their wives and stuff like that, are now saying like, oh, Karen said he hit him, but like hit him with her car and like backed into him and all this stuff. But he has all these like scratches on his arm that definitely look like dog bites and all. So like there's been all of this shit with this case that everything has been fumbled so badly in the first trial. It was deemed a mistrial.
Because they just wanted to convict her, right?
They I think they're framing her. And they have so many people involved and it's like collusion at the highest level. But like the guy that owned the house, this was a family house that had been in the family for generations, sold the house months after the incident. They redid the basement.
Who did?
The guy who lived at the house where the incident occurred.
Oh, it wasn't at his house.
Yeah, so there, it wasn't at the guy who died's house. So he was found in the yard. They're trying to say he got hit and he never came into the house, but somehow they redid the basement. They sold the house. They rehomed the dog.
So there's nothing can be
investigated. And they also, a number of the people got rid of their cell phones the day before like the investigation part of the discovery would come out. Yeah.
How?
And there's so many things where it's like, it's clear, like obviously you can't say she's guilty because she's definitely not guilty beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yeah.
And his injuries are not consistent with getting hit by a car. He wasn't found in the snow until the morning.
He was hit by a car, but his throat was cut.
Yeah, it's crazy. And they when they initially went to the scene, they didn't find any pieces of tail light. But then after her car was in custody, it's like I think days later or something like that, they found like 60 pieces of tail light in the snow, and you're just like, come on. But her defense attorney is fucking incredible. His name's Alan Jackson, and he's doing this pro bono.
The country singer?
I was gonna say, don't steal my jokes.
Sorry.
Get your own podcast.
I was gonna sing "Way Down Yonder" to the Chattahoochee.
I don't even know who Alan Jackson is. So.
Oh shit.
But I want to see what the guy looks like.
The guy who died?
Yeah.
Can you look up John O'Keefe?
I know his hotness doesn't matter in her innocence or guilt, but I'm curious.
Well, and so now the speculation from people who are way more involved or interested in the case than I am, apparently the guy who
Oh
yeah, that's him. Yeah,
he looks like our bartender.
Oh,
The old guy?
No, on the right.
He looks like our bartender from like Cody. Doesn't he look like Cody from Vegas?
Who's Cody? Oh, Dakota? No.
I was drunk.
Yeah, you were. There's speculation. So the people that lived at the house, I think their last name was Albert or something like that. They have a son named Colin who is like a known drug dealer, like deals coke. Allegedly. I'm going to say allegedly for everything. And they never mentioned that he was at the house that night at all. Like everybody agreed not to talk about it. But John, I guess, had been privy to the fact that he was a coke dealer and they had beef before, and so they're thinking that Colin killed him and the parents are now covering up for it. Like it was a fight that maybe went too far, and so they realized, oh shit, he's fucking dead, we have to throw him out there in the snow. And I think that there was a blizzard happening that night, so they were hoping to have him close enough to the curb that maybe if the snow plow came and hit him, then they could blame it on that. Like he passed out in the snow and got hit by a snow plow.
Have these people never seen an episode of CSI?
Dude, it's crazy because they're all like they're detectives and shit like that, and the fact that their stories are like, but what they did when the cops came initially, like they didn't separate any of the witnesses, they let them sit there together, they did, it's like all of this shit that the case should be thrown out.
They let the woman do some vacuuming in the basement.
Yeah. She said, "Don't come down here. I'm not decent." And they were like, "Okay."
She was down there for 2 days.
Yeah. One of the women Googled "Has long to die in the snow." She spelled how wrong at 2:27 a.m. And
it's like that guy like in Massachusetts or wherever recently. Did you see this? He killed his wife. He's been
He allegedly
killed his wife, but he literally Googled all of the things. How do you dispose of a dead body? Yeah. And then literally was found on a Lowe's camera buying shit that was on the list of how to dispose of the dead body with the receipt in one of his jeans pockets. And he
printed out coupons from the items
and took photos of himself with the dead body. Still like this. I didn't do that. Wasn't me.
Yeah, there were so like the group that's conspiring, like they had so many phone calls in between each other. There were like 27 calls that they all claimed were butt dials at like 5 o'clock in the morning. They deleted texts and did all that stuff, and then there's just so much shit that if the jury finds her anything but innocent, then
it's rape.
The judge also feels like she's on the side of the prosecution. Like the corruption runs deep in these things. But
does it ever make you nervous to talk about this kind of stuff in a public forum? Like somebody's going to get retribution on you?
No, because I'm not the one who wants to live forever.
And there's also a million.
There's a serial killer right now in North Hollywood, and I said I'll leave my doors unlocked.
It always makes me nervous. Like even when the other day I was talking to you about this. So Nikki Glazer said that her friend was just on tour outside the country, and when she re-entered America, she was asked, and there was a guy, what were you doing? She's like, I'm a comedian. I was on tour. And the guy asked her, did you say anything about...
Do you make fun of the president or the administration?
And she was like, I'm a comedian. Right?
Yeah. Which every comedian talks about politics. Like
one way or the other.
Yeah.
Everything's fair game, right?
Yeah.
But just the fact that you were asked that, they're not even allowed to ask you if it was business or pleasure. They're only allowed to ask you questions that pertain to your citizenship. But if you're not compliant, they can hold you in a room for 3 hours. They can take your phone away from you for like 5 weeks or some extended amount of time like that.
What if my phone being taken from the park was actually...
It's a psyop.
We're fucked.
Oh, no. There's a lot of bad words about Donald Trump in here.
Your phone was closed, thank God. Because otherwise, I would be like, Kelly, my phone was stolen 6 years ago before I met you. And I think somebody's been hacking into it and saying things that I would never, ever say or think or do.
The one thing I was wondering the whole time is because you said he speaks Spanish, and I know that the new guy is super, super popular in Latin American countries. And I was wondering if the guy was never going to answer the phone, but then he sees DJ Qualls pop up on the screen, and it's the Photoshop picture of you and me in a fitness photo shoot. And he's like, the new guy is calling me.
It was so confusing because also nobody in my life ever loses their phone until I'm 4 drinks in. And so I didn't even know what was happening. And I'm trying to watch Righteous Gemstones, and there were penises everywhere on that show.
You were busy.
It was a lot happening.
You helped.
It was a lot happening. But anyway, it scares me. The ACLU put out a guide recently to what to do if you're asked for if you go through a security and or when you come back into the country, you go through border passport control, and they ask you to open your phone. The whole guide about it. First of all, they said don't do it. Yeah. They also said to delete your social media apps if you're worried about that before you come in, so they won't be on your phone. That is fucking crazy to me. What time are we living in that you can't say something? Here's the thing, if I was asked, have you said anything bad about the administration or this president? My response would be, are you asking me if I've been exercising my First Amendment rights? Are you possibly trying to intimidate me into not using my First Amendment rights? And then I would be in Rikers.
Yeah. Well, Alcatraz, as soon as he opens it back up. Fuck.
Did you see the clip of him about Alcatraz?
I read the...
It is so fucking nuts.
Yeah.
He starts talking about a movie, first of all. He was like, well, I was supposed to be a filmmaker. And then he goes through it, and he was like, guys have tried to escape, but they only found shreds of his clothes. That was the plot of Escape from Alcatraz.
All of his policy right now is just, he watched a movie on Netflix. Soon he's going to try to figure out if he can switch faces with somebody, because he's been really into Nick Cage movies lately, apparently. We are so far deep. And now the tariffs on movies. Somebody asked a question about that in our Patreon. It's like,
here's the thing that I want to say that's comforting to everybody. Most of the shit that you see online that agrees with him is a bot. Yeah. It is too. I've shown Kelly. I think I've shown it here. The conversation I had with the bot when I said back in Russian, "You faceless coward, why don't you at least post a photo?" So because I said you're a bot, it said "you wish," and in Russian I was like, "Hello, comrade." But I did translate. I don't know Russian because I'm not a communist. Jokes. I don't know Russian, and so I just said something back to him like, "Show yourself," and then his response in English was, I cannot. The owner would not be happy. And I'm like, bot, and then never responded to anything again. So a lot of it, this is like 13% of the population. This is not a lot of people. Yeah. And the anger that I feel, also talking about being triggered by a Southern accent, is that people, a big portion of my homeland, a place that I love, mostly the food, that I grew up in, are the reason why my fucking retirement plans are screwed. Money I saved my whole life, put away. And the fact that you don't give a damn about anybody but yourself. The millions and millions of Americans who are retirement age, who now that's been put on hold. And just wait until a month from now. The ports are empty. Shit's about to get real. And also, his orangeness is softening the message or changing the message. It's no longer like it's going to, you're going to see, it's like, okay, so things are going to get hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now it's like, well, your kids don't need $30. Yeah. They can just have $2. It's like, well, you don't need fucking... Billionaires don't need 3 yachts.
And then after he says that, he gets on a fucking private jet that our tax dollars pay for and flies away with Secret Service detail and spends $15 million of our fucking money on a golf round.
Yep. And
Round
there's
it
going to
off.
be what, $100 million military parade for his birthday, something like that.
$93 million dollars. When they're talking about making cuts to veterans benefits and massive cuts to medical research.
Yeah, I saw a tweet earlier saying that like they were at maybe Walmart and they were buying something that was Hallmark, but it was increased because Walmart was like handing out pieces of paper that was showing the tariff increases. And they're like, but I called Hallmark and they said that they are made in Kansas, I believe it is. Whatever. And they're like, they're doing this to try to make Donald Trump look bad. And it's like, you don't understand, because even American made companies are going to increase their prices just because that's the market now, or they're going to price gouge because they can now because of the tariffs. Like that's what's happening.
If you love capitalism so much, let me explain to you how capitalism works. If a lighter is made in America and it costs $20, if that same lighter costs $10 to be made in China, and the tariffs now make that lighter $30, the seller of the $20 lighter in America is going to charge $25 for it because he can. Because it's supply and demand. It's the most the market will bear for any good or service. It is fucking fascinating. Trade deficits are good when we consume things that we don't make. It also keeps us from having local pollution. The reason why it's good, this is why a trade deficit is good with a country like China. It's because we get goods so cheaply there, it allows us money in our own lives to consume more. And let me tell you, the economy is not the stock market, but it is based on spending. And the more things cost, the less you can afford to buy, which means the less exchange of money is happening, the less goods and services that are. So our GDP is going to tank. We are going into a massive recession, possibly a depression. And you're not going to get anything you want.
Nope.
And we will be standing in line waiting for a doll for our child for Christmas while his orangeness is fucking playing around. He spent $150 million in his first 4 years on golf.
Ugh. He makes me sick.
And then we're talking and we're upset because saying we can't give school lunches to kids, and this motherfucker
which is the most like deranged mindset ever. If you think making kids go to school hungry because their parents can't afford food for them, you are an evil person.
Yeah.
Like it's true evil at its core.
I mean,
anyway.
I call people out on this kind of shit all the time to the point where
Anyway, you can find us on social media at LoadedPod. Send us an email, probably loadedpod@gmail.com. Go to our website to put in your email if you want a free invite to our next live happy hour on Patreon. That's loadedpod.com. Our Patreon is patreon.com/loadedpod. You get the episodes a week early and with no ads. And our phone number is 323-272-3908. And
I want to say this part.
Okay.
And we're now on YouTube, y'all.
So find us on YouTube.
This is not that kind of video. No, we're on YouTube now, and we're building a following there. And there's a 4-week delay for our episodes. We're coming current now, but you can find a big portion of our history as a podcast, the video portions of it there, so you can see things that we refer to. You can see when we look hungover,
which is all
the time. Bye.
Also,
wait.
Also, a lot of people ask like how they can help grow the show. Share it. So like our TikTok is blowing up right now. That's gaining traction. If you see clips that you like, share them. Tell your friends.
If you push that little arrow button to the right, Kelly taught me, you can repost it, and that helps tremendously.
Yeah.
That helps us pop up on more feeds. It gets awareness out. But we're so happy that you're here, and we're growing, and it feels really good.
The Lodi crew
is
getting large.
Hey, bye, Lodies.
Bye, Lodies.
Sit on down and pour yourself a glass.
And tune into your favorite podcast.
Where things will be misquoted.
And opinions ain't sugar-coated.
'Cause DJ and Kelly are locked